Greetings, most honorable listeners and masters of the martial arts. I am Travis,
I'm Chris.
I'm Big Los.
and this is CTE, and this is going to be an experience for you. And just so you guys know, we are sponsored by the Arctic Challenge coming up January 15th, 2022. It's Arctic Challenge here in Michigan, Warren, Michigan. Make sure you, if you want to get out and get your year started right, come out to the Arctic Challenge on January 15, 2022, and that will be now announced soon. There is going to be a seminar coming up the January 14th, the night before. It will be the best fighter in the world. It will be Bailey Murphy. Yes, sir. He's going to be coming out there, and he's going to be doing a seminar Friday night before the tournament. So you'll be seeing that announcement coming out soon. So we right here at the CTE, we're giving you the exclusive. And also we are sponsored by the Virtual Fight Tour. They will be making announcements very soon about their next event that will be coming up. But stay tuned for that one. Gentlemen, how are you doing? How is your week? We got music. We do have music. I want to say this: we do have music because I've just looked it up and I wanted to play it, and hopefully you guys enjoy the music that this is. And if you know what this is from, alrighty, people. Yes, Los, did you know what TV show that was from?
I do not.
Oh, okay, it's from The Office.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, there you go. I do have a question for you, Los.
Yeah.
I'm just curious. Have you ever had alligator?
I thought we had this conversation already.
I don't remember we asked alligator.
I believe we did. We went through the whole gauntlet of.
I think we did go through the gambit with him.
Yeah.
Alligator, frog legs, fish, different kinds of fish. I think he's like mostly snake, caribou, elk. We went through. I ran through all that gambit. Wait, is that what you eating right now?
Mm-hmm. I am.
With a rummy lot?
Mm-hmm.
Is it like a Cajun?
Mm-hmm. Chewy piece.
What?
Very chewy piece.
Yeah.
I'm super chewy right now.
Is it next day?
No, I just got it.
Oh. I don't get it.
No, it was just one of them chewy pieces. Do you eat etouffee?
I don't know what that is. What is that?
Bro, those that told you pizza, chicken fingers, and fries.
It's like jambalaya, but
wings, maybe like some spaghetti, chicken
You
parm,
like
right?
I mean, no, I'm saying it's like you like jambalaya.
Yeah, I eat jambalaya.
It's similar to jambalaya. Very, very
It's
similar.
not jambalaya.
Huh?
But it's not
not.
jambalaya. Yeah.
No,
I never had
it's
it.
similar. The rice and the jambalaya and the etouffee are not cooked together. You know how jambalaya is cooked all with the rice and everything in there.
Yeah.
It's similar, but it's not as soupy and dark like gumbo.
Okay.
So, but it's like still has a lot of flavors for it like that. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, how was your week, guys?
It's pretty good. You just gonna eat in front of us?
Yeah. Okay. Well, you gotta explain.
What is that you're eating right now? What is it called? Jambalaya?
Etouffee.
What?
Etouffee. Crawfish etouffee.
So you eating the swamp right now. You eating the swamp. You eating the gator.
My New Orleans people know what it is.
What is it?
My New Orleans people know what it is.
But you're in Detroit right now.
Yeah, I am. But we got a place called Fishbones. And Fishbones it's like New Orleans style Cajun restaurant. Pretty good. But this is about you, those. And you and Chris. How was y'all week? You know what? I got something that I do have something that I know you've eaten before. Those. called a French fry.
I've had a French fry before.
No, you've eaten it. Let him go. Got the seasoning and stuff on it.
You keep munching like that, bro. Like,
All right, I'm done. Just wanted to mess with y'all a little bit. All right.
man.
As y'all sit there in your schools waiting to get home to eat.
Yeah.
But anyway, how was y'all week, man? Real talk.
My week was good. I took the kids. It was my kid's birthday, my youngest too. So we took them to the water parks in Pennsylvania. So they had a good time with that.
What part of
Happy
Pennsylvania?
birthday.
Poconos.
Okay.
So they have the Great Wolf Lodge there, and then they have another one called the Kalahari Water Park.
Did you
Kalahari.
get in? Were you in the water?
Yeah, I did a couple slides with the kids and stuff. Absolutely.
You weren't too big for those rides?
What are you trying to say?
No. I remember I tried to get on a ride and my legs would not fit in the ride. Like it was too small.
It's a water park.
I mean, you know,
Not going
I always think about water parks. They're built for kids.
This is an indoor water park, right?
I don't
Yeah,
have
indoor,
children.
Yeah, because I'm
That's
like,
an indoor water park. So it's not.
I'm like, in Pennsylvania, the Poconos.
Yeah, it's not like
you could probably see that now. It's cold.
It's not like it's like, oh yeah, we outside and it's a water
Yeah,
park.
no. It wasn't rides like that. It was I mean, they had like kiddie section, but they had like adult stuff. Like there were certain things that some of my two of my kids couldn't go on because they weren't big enough to go on to it. But no, it was cool. It was good. It was a lot of fun.
Good. I'm glad you had fun. All of y'all went?
Took all the kids, yeah. So we went. We did Great Wolf Lodge on Wednesday and Thursday, and then so that was my daughter's birthday on Thursday. Then I surprised my son because his birthday is on Friday, but we told him it's going to be he had to share the birthday with his sister at Great Wolf Lodge. So I surprised him on Friday, and we booked a night at the other place, which was like 10 times better than Great Wolf Lodge. It was like really really cool. So it was good.
Did your daughter jealous that he got the
Yeah,
better?
no difference. She didn't care. She was able to go, and she was 6, right? So to her, it was like I get 2 water parks.
Okay, wait. So wait, all right. So this is 1 6, another one is how old? Like 10?
He turned 10, yeah.
He turned 10,
and
and they're a day apart.
Yeah.
That's
They almost
wild.
were on the same day, bro. Like my daughter was born 10:46 on the 2nd
That's wild.
p.m. Yeah.
Yeah.
My wife is working hard. She's like, they
But-
gotta have their own separate birthdays.
Yeah. Just stay away from your wife in March.
Bro, we're good. We're like 6 years past that now. So.
Hey, you know, hey. All right. Chris, how was your weekend, man?
Man, week was good. You know, I went to Mr. Young's event on Saturday, and that was awesome. And then Sunday we did sparring, and then went home and had a family day. Just hung out and did whatever the kids wanted and the wife wanted to do, and that was it, man.
Well, how is your youngest doing, man?
She's great. Running around, talking pretty well now, formulating 2-3 word sentences. I don't know what the months are, 19, 20 months or something like that.
She's almost 2.
She'll be 2 soon.
That's what I want to hear. She'll be 2 real soon. Like, yeah, there we go.
She was a pandemic baby.
Yeah, is she walking and everything?
Yeah. Oh yeah. She's up running, climbing. Yeah. She's running amok.
She was a pandemic baby.
Well, she's not from the pandemic. She was born like that second week or that whatever, then them 2 weeks on the 30th of March. So like right at the beginning, like, oh, shutdown, sweet. I mean, we can have the baby. I got time off. Like I got nothing else to do.
That is true. That kind of
worked
worked out.
I was doing Zoom classes. Like that was a cool time. Luckily, you know what I mean. Not a cool time. You know what I mean? I had something to look forward to. I didn't have that cabin fever. I didn't get all weirded out. I was tending to a baby. So that was cool for me.
Yeah, that is pretty dope.
But that was it. No, other than that, no. Thanks for asking, though.
Oh, no problem, man. I just want to, check and see how my guys are doing, We're all in different areas. Just want to see how everybody's doing.
And how was your weekend, Travis?
Trev. Yeah, man.
Explain
My
to us
weekend was pretty cool.
Like.
I was in Chicago, man. I went to Chicago. And like we said, I always say that we go to different cities all the time, but I've never really truly hung out in Chicago. So this was me actually being able to get out and see the city, go around. I saw the Bean. I went and had Alex's favorite place, Lou Malnati's pizza. Went there. I'm trying to think of what else. One of the cooler things was the office experience for the show, and it's basically it's a museum, but it's set up in the sense that you walk in and you feel like you were in the office of the show. So it's like it's just set up that way. You got everybody's desk, different stuff sitting there. It's different props from the show that happened and replica props of what they used. So like one of the things is that one of the characters, Jim, put like his coworker's stapler in a big vat of Jello. And so that was there. Like they had the different ones of, the Jello sitting there, and so you can grab it and you can do all this different things. So you got to see it and you felt like you were on the show. So yeah, that was pretty cool.
So, I've never seen one episode of that show.
You would probably like it. Very sarcastic. You're a sarcastic person, man. Very sarcastic.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, you would like it. All right. So, but no, it was a really good time. I think they had 9 seasons. And it was pretty cool, man. I got to see a lot of different things in there. What else did I do? Went to a shake bar. It's like all like milkshakes and different types of stuff like that. And they had like a vegan version of ice cream and stuff like that. So I got to have the milk chocolate. So yeah. So I did a few different things around the city, man. It was pretty cool, man. I went to a couple different bars. Of course, I found a live music spot. So I had a good weekend, man.
That's awesome. How far is Chicago from Detroit?
4 hours, 4.5.
So you drive or you flying?
I took the train, which I decided I'm not going to do again. It was like, it took 5 hours.
Nope.
And we stopped and picked people up, but since the pandemic, man, I be looking at stuff like, you didn't get the crevice here. Like, I see the dirt. I see, like, I be a little weirded out when I look at stuff. I'm like, yo, man, how long do I have to go? I want to be in the least. I want to be in public places like that in the shortest amount of time. So when I look at it, I'll get on the plane. So I took the train there and flew back.
Okay. How long a flight? Hour?
Less than an hour. It's like 40 minutes.
Like 45.
Yeah, it's like 45 minutes in the air total. So yeah, that was cool. Got there and was like,
one way.
Yeah, I'm back home, baby. You barely lose any time. Like my flight was at like 7:30, and I got here. Well, I guess I left some time. I got here like 8:30. No, it was closer to 9. Almost, it was almost 9 because the hour shift.
Yeah,
an hour behind, and so it was really like it wasn't that long. So I probably got here about 8:30 Chicago time, so it was like 9:30. But yeah, so I'll probably fly to Chicago from now on or drive because I like driving. It clears my head. I'm in my own car. I'm thinking. I'm seeing different scenes and stuff like that. That's cool to me.
You got your car in Detroit?
It's here.
Oh, okay. That's what's up.
Yeah, it's here. I'm giving it to my dad, so like it's here. So yeah.
So,
all right. We got anything else we want to talk about? Just in general in life? No, nothing.
No, life is good right now.
All right. Where do we want to start? Let's start with Tony's. With Tony real quick. Chris, you were in the building. How was the event? It looked like he had a nice turnout.
Yeah, he had a good turnout. A good amount of people. The local schools came out and supported. Tim Conkle had a school there now. I don't know where his school is, but he's got a team or whatever, a school that he brought with him. Then MBS and Next Level South or whatever, Next Aisha and them, and then bunch of the schools united. It was a good event. The people in the building were some of the our friends, but the greats of the martial arts. So that was cool seeing everybody in one room. And then they had the big promotion that they did for a lot of people. So that was super cool.
Well, yeah, I didn't really technically pay attention because I was, in Chicago. So I saw it, but I didn't know what actually was going on. I just saw Tony Young holding up like, you know, like
a plaque. Keith Vitale came down and presented him,
Really?
Charles Fears, Rhonda, Rich Hand Alexander, Charles Fears, other gentleman, and then they got their 6th degrees, and then he presented with Mr. Young with his 10th degree.
Nice.
So that was cool. And then like Mr. Plowder, Mr. Kramer, Mr. Price, my instructor, Mr. Smith, Magic Johnson was there. Like, you know, Marty Eubanks is like, there was like a ton of people there. Like, you know, Robert Harris was there, Jesse Thornton was there. Like the people that were in that building were like, ooh. So it was super cool. And then Ernest Miller showed up, and Michael Jai White was there.
Yep, I saw that.
So like that was big and cool for the sport karate community here to kind of get to see him live and at a karate tournament.
I didn't know how big he was.
Oh, word?
Yeah, I when I saw him, I was looking. I was like, he looks. I mean stature, but I thought I did because he was about the same height as Ernest, right?
Yeah.
Or was he shorter? Yeah. So I was like,
right around the same height.
Yeah, I never knew how tall he was as far as that goes. I just didn't know. I was like,
okay.
Seeing him in movie screens, and some people you always wonder like how tall are they really?
How big or how small you are? Yeah.
Yeah.
DMX is my size. You're like, oh, that's cool.
Right. Yeah, it's just kind of like so I didn't know how big he was, how tall he was, but that was cool to see. But yeah, but it looked like it was a good. So were you a fly on the wall listening to some of the stories?
Always. I'm not a fly on the wall. I'm like pulled up a seat, like sitting in between everybody, just being quiet though.
Mm-hmm.
Unless somebody says something to me, I'm quiet.
Wait, Regina was there too, right?
Regina was here too as well. Yeah, Ski was here. Ricky Murray
Ski
was there.
I didn't see Ski's post. Okay, Ski was there too.
Ski was here. Yeah.
Oh dang, he had he had a lot of people there.
And of course,
Marcel
was there, and then Jermon was there. I was there. Like, you know, it was a lot of people were like there.
Yeah, I saw Kodak.
Yep, Kodak was there.
Yeah, I saw Kodak was down there. Yeah, so it looked like he had a nice the amount of talent that was in that building, or just stories that could be told. It just looked like that could have been really interesting.
Yeah,
it would be a fly on the wall hearing that. Yeah, I'm sad I missed it. Well, yeah, well, you know, a
little bit. He's like, I'm a little sad.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun in Chicago. So
because I was gonna say you came with us that one year, a couple of years ago, right?
Yeah, I've been
to the barbecue spot and came out and hung out there.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've been around all of them. Every person.
I know that.
With the exception of Michael Jai White, I've been around everybody with the exception of Michael Jai White. But everybody else I've been around, you know, spoke to, had conversations with. So, you know, yeah. But just to see everybody in that space would have been cool.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. All right. Anything else from there? Not really.
Not really. It was a good tournament. Good turnout. Good. Kevin.
Okay.
And then Willie Marshall won seniors. And then Danny Allberger won women's. And she beat Ashley Lane in grands for forms. It was nice to see Ashley out too. She did good. So yeah, it was cool.
Okay.
A lot of people were there. Like, it was crazy.
All right. Well, let's get to the.
You say you ready to get to the meat and potatoes?
Well, you know, people probably want to hear about us, our take on, you know, stuff that's going on in sport karate, and that's why they listen to us.
One of those people that you were getting ready to talk about was also at the event.
Yeah. So on the day they dropped some information, and I'm gonna read what Jeremy posted. Okay.
Okay.
Because he posted it, and that's where I saw it, and I said, "Huh, interesting." I'm not surprised, but I am, you know. And he just posted, and he said, you know, the Great Divide. He said martial arts technologies in Uventex. Then he posted, and he had like for NASCA martial arts technologies, aka Warrior Cup, compete, Battle of Atlanta, U.S. Open, Capital Classics, and on the Uventex side is Ocean State, Quebec Open, Amerikick, Diamonds, Pan Americans, and Toronto International. When I saw that, I just sat there and said to myself, "Yep, And I just kind of like, huh.
He said, "Yep."
I mean, because we had this conversation before. I've stated it like, yeah. So Jeremy,
year and a half ago.
yeah, a year and a half ago, I said there's like people thought I was crazy. I'm like, yo, there's a war brewing. And like, I don't know if you guys know this, but there's a war brewing. Like, it is what it is. Behind the scenes of different stuff. So he said the Great Divide, there are powers behind all of this trying to quote unquote take over. Will there be a unified league, or will it forever be every event for itself? It is really bigger than just two companies providing a service to the customer. It is about the board. Does the board of directors care more about the league or their event? My opinion, they need a league first mentality. League first means competitor first. Competitor first means competitor first, competitor first, competitor first. That's what Jeremy said. On the heels of this, though,
okay,
because this was November 27th. Let me just make sure I want to say this was last Saturday. He posted this on a Saturday. Now he posted it, and we didn't talk about it on Monday. I meant to talk about it, and I forgot to speak about it last week. Yeah, and then on Tuesday, Sport Martial Arts dropped. Sport Martial Arts and Black Belt Magazine and made an announcement. I want to go to it real quick, see if we can find it. Marketing and broadcast collaboration between Martial Arts Technology, Black Belt Magazine, Jungo TV, and SportMartialArts.com. They have a marketing and broadcast collaboration for 2022. It revolves around the AKA Warrior Cup, Compete Nationals, the Battle of Atlanta, the U.S. Open, and the U.S. Capitol Classics. All will have a marketing and broadcast collaboration between the four. So when this popped up on there, I was like, okay, this is very interesting. And that was last Tuesday, the day after we came out. We talked about it, but gentlemen, your thoughts on all this stuff that's happening. I want to be clear what they're saying that this is. Breaking sport karate news, according to SportMartialArts.com right now. 2022 is going to be a banner year for sport martial arts events. The biggest players in the industry are teaming up to create a marketing and broadcasting collaboration that will elevate the sport. The sport martial arts community has tried for years to bring more recognition to the sport and make it viewable to a mainstream audience. Black Belt Magazine is the world's oldest and most well-known and most respected magazine about martial arts. Black Belt Magazine recently created its own streaming martial arts channel on the Jungo TV platform. Jungo TV is the brainchild of former martial arts competitor George Chung and has a mission of connecting its global audience to their passions by creating the most extensive free collection of entertainment and educational content with more than 300 million active users and 2 billion monthly views. SportMartialArts.com is the premier. Okay, let's see. Matt Action is innovative and 2022. Black Belt Magazine, Jungle TV, SportMartialArts.com, and Matt Action are collaborating with 5 major world-level martial arts competitions to bring you a broadcast series featuring the best martial arts competitors in the world. Tune into Jungle TV, the Black Belt channel, and SportMartialArts.com to watch professionally produced live streams from the eliminations and finals at the 2022 AKA Warrior Cup, Compete Internationals, Battle of Atlanta, U.S. Open, ISKA, World Martial Arts Championships, and U.S. Capitol Classics / China Open. In addition, tune in for competitor interviews and follow your favorite sport karate competitors throughout the year as we put the sport on the map. And they tell you what you can expect. Live stream, professional produced event shows with color commentary from top announcers like Jackson Rudolph and Mallory Woods from 5 world level martial arts events. Follow and cheer on your favorite sport martial arts competitors throughout the year with interviews and storylines running from event to event. Find opportunities to meet your favorite sport martial arts competitors with autograph booths and meet and greets at the 5 world events. Special on-site VIP treatment for new competitors and SMA virtual competitors trying to any of the 5 world level events, and Black Belt Magazine and SportMartialArts.com presence at the events for interaction with competitors. All right. this is kind of interesting. Certification of each of the 5 world level events, which means each event is working towards a level of excellence in customer service and quality that will result in participants having a competition experience that exceeds expectations. All right, gentlemen. All of that to say, what from you guys?
That's cool. I mean, I don't know, man.
This is CTE, man. We keep it real. So just go ahead and say what you feel.
I mean, it seems like what we were talking about, what we said a year and a half ago when we were talking about, it seems like different events seem like they're fracturing off. There's one event that I think it was different than what I would have expected in this 5.
What do you mean?
I wouldn't necessarily have thought that it would have been Caps in with that group. I thought it may have been either Diamonds or Amerikicks, but I understand the things that are going on. So I think, I don't know.
What things do you think are going on?
Progression versus stagnation.
Exactly.
You said it. You said it. You said the things that are going on. So now you got me. My ears perked up because before that I didn't really care. But now I'm like, yeah, what's going on? Give me a little more details, so I can actually kind of allow myself to get invested into all this drama.
Come on, Trav, what you hinting at? What you talking about?
No, you said
it.
You said it. Yeah, he's trying to make me think. He would have said it.
All that you hear going on or something like that. You said all that you hear that's going
Chris,
on.
You're the person who has their ear to the ground and knows everything. That everybody's.
I don't know everything. I don't know because I don't know deep enough into you know. You hear whispers and stuff, and you hear
what's the surface?
What?
What's the surface? Like, what's on the, like, if you skimmed across the surface, what's on the surface and not
deep? If you skimmed across the surface, then you read what Jeremy posted. Do you think that there's a divide between the two?
But thing about what Jeremy posted, it was still cryptic.
No. Is there a divide? That's what he's saying. Is there a divide?
Yeah, but he also said that some people are not into putting the competitor first. Remember, he kept saying competitor first, competitor first, competitor first.
Right, he did.
So which one is he talking about? Who? Because he was saying, is somebody trying to take over? Who's the person trying to take over? Like, who's trying to take over? Are you saying that Matt Action and Sport Martial Arts Black Belt and Django are trying to take over? Or are you trying to say that I don't know. So I'm trying to say he posted.
I'm not trying to say anything. I have
for him. That's what I said. He said was still cryptic. It was like,
yes.
It wasn't what I'm not gonna say it wasn't clear, but he was hinting at something, but it was. So I'm just curious as to what, because he said the Great Divide, there are powers behind all of this trying to take over, quote unquote, take over.
Well, you would imagine, because would you? I mean, you think about it, just out there on the surface of it. You look at Mad Action. Who operates Mad Action?
Hunter.
Hunter has connections with Sport Martial Arts and with the AKA. That's kind of where that faction happens. And then how, when the pitch and the sale to compete, battle, open, Caps, because US Open was on their own thing, or the old Digitego, and turned into the US Open system or whatever just last year or this year, versus where you're at with Juventex, which still has Diamonds and Amerikicks and Pans and the rest of them. So like you I don't know. I mean, what do you all think on it?
Does who run, like, do those two systems actually dictate, like, the event? Like,
I don't know if it's the system, I think that's kind of what the illusion is. Is it the systems that you get to pick and choose and what each one prefers, or is it the groups and the groups deciding to choose? I think that's the what.
No, I mean, but let's be realistic. The groups aren't really choosing. I mean, these events, they aren't really technically choosing what you can do. You're just, I mean, it's literally just the registration and what the information that you get from the registration.
Right.
They can choose whoever they want for that. I mean, that doesn't sound like they're splitting.
Right. Exactly.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So
that's I think that's what the questions are being posed as. Is it because of the two groups that they're using for their systems, or is it because the two groups are splitting and they're choosing to do something different? I think that's what the cryptic and the posing is. What Travis is alluding to. I think from what Jeremy may or may
trying
not
to put it on me.
No, you the one talking about it.
No, hold on. No, he did. Travis, he did kind of shift it right over to you.
Right, he keeps shifting it to me like I'm the one. He brought it.
Yeah, but he was the one that said all the stuff that's going on
Trey,
behind
you
the
the one that
scenes.
brought it up.
I brought it up because it's been out there for the last week and a half. So I'm like, okay, let's talk about it. Okay. I didn't bring this up. I was just like, oh, okay, this is kind of interesting. I just said before that there were these two martial arts, Mad Action and Juventex are fighting over who gets to do the registration. Like that's what the war I was talking about. I asked before about as far as NASCA goes, who's going to take over, or who's going to run it in there. But I said that Promac, I thought Promac was positioning themselves to be that new sanctioning body if NASCA transition, that Promac was there. But I didn't know that there was a divide on what system to use inside of there. I didn't know. I just like, okay, it is what it is. I saw when
has there ever been has there ever been a NASCA uses Juventex? NASCA uses Matt. What is it called? Matt Action.
Yeah. I think this year most of them use Matt Action, if I'm not mistaken. Almost, but the prior years it was Juventex, and prior to that, it was before Matt Action was Matt Action. It was called something else. It was I can't remember what it was. It was something else, but they used that originally first, and then Juventex took over, and everybody was using Juventex, and then Martial Arts Technology came back, and there's been a divide about who wants to use what systems. That's all that is. I don't know about taking over or as Jeremy said, like who's taking over. I don't know, like because Jeremy's made a few posts since then, saying different things, but I honestly I don't know. I have no idea.
Right.
And I'm not, people might be like, are you trying to start? No, I'm not trying to start. I'm just asking a question, simple.
Based upon
how do you guys feel when y'all saw it?
Yeah, right.
And Chris said, hey, some things. I was like, so what are you talking about? Like, maybe
some things kind of going behind, the chair behind.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of this goes to relationships, right? I think, of course, Martial Arts Technology and AKA World Cup have a relationship. Yes. I think Hunter and them have a better relationship when it comes to compete Battle of Atlanta, US Open, Capital Classic. I think that's how this all comes together, is that they had a better relationship than they did with Juventex. I've heard people complain about Juventex. I've heard people complain about Martial Arts Technology. It's a system. Everybody's going to have which way they want to go with it. Right.
Nike, Coke or Pepsi.
Right. It just is what it is. Like, I'm not saying it was anything crazy, but I was more focused on Sport Martial Arts, Black Belt Magazine, Jungo, and Mad Action teaming up, and the marketing and broadcast part of it, which I thought was very interesting. Because it's almost like a league inside of NASCA. Right? It's got their own thing. It's similar to like when they did it a few years ago, and they did the international tour with US Open Diamonds, Irish Open, and some other tournaments. And they had it was still NASCA, but it had its own
thing
like that people were going for. So I was more interested in the sport martial arts portion of it. Let me pull that part up. So that was more interested to me because the reach that it has.
Right.
You put our two largest, for lack of better, media outlets together to collaborate on something, or picking 5 different events to market and broadcast. That's saying something. Like, you put Black Belt Magazine with sportmartialarts.com, and that's huge. You bring in Jungle TV, who literally had nothing to do with sport karate over the last few years that I don't remember anyway. Did they?
No,
I don't remember their presence being felt over the last, I don't know, however long Jungle TV's been around. But to put that along there, and I think that partially comes in because of Capital Classics, right?
Yes.
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
But bringing that in along with compete, I don't know, maybe compete. It's just interesting to see that these four giants working together. Do you think this will have an impact on, and if so, what kind of impact do you think it will have? Because let's be realistic, our sport is kind of dying. If you really want to be real with it. Any thoughts from you two?
Los?
Are y'all afraid somebody's gonna be mad at you because y'all talking about it?
I don't think anyone's gonna be mad at me because I really don't care.
I know you don't. No, you don't.
No, so let me go back to this whole thing, right? So there's a Mad Action and there's the Juventex, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then Sport Martial Arts and Black Belt Magazine. I'm not surprised that they're interconnected because of just what they do on the level which they do it on, right? So then you look at whatever relationships those two entities, Sports Martial Arts and Black Belt Magazine, has in relationships with Mad Action, right?
Yep.
So all that, like those, like that to me, but that's not like, oh my God, these five are going to do more than what the other groups. This is what they chose to do. They chose to go with Mad Action. Mad Action is the one that has all these events, and it's probably going to be set up through some kind of system where Sports Martial Arts and Black Belt Magazine all have something kind of interconnected within what they're doing. They probably have something bigger, right? That's going to connect all those things together. But I don't see it being as a divide. I see 5 tournaments that are just trying to do something different than what has already been done. But that's not a divide to me, I don't believe.
Right.
I don't. No. Well,
I think it's cool what they're trying to do. Like you mean?
I think let's say this. I think there will be a divide if money comes into play, and the money generated from these 5 events shares money with these 5 events, and don't share it with the other 6 or 7 events.
But that's going to be partly because of their choice, who they chose.
Correct. Correct.
Yeah.
But regardless of that, logic goes out the window once money starts coming in, and money and emotion comes involved. Logic goes out the window. Like if I say, I don't want to go to that party, and then it's the greatest party ever, and then I'm hating on somebody because you didn't tell me it was gonna be like that. I'm like, well, shoot, I didn't know it was gonna be that. I gave you a hint that it might be, and you chose not to. So you can't be mad at me for not going to the party.
Correct.
I 100% believe that before this announcement, they probably tried to include the rest of them. They probably chose not to. They probably chose, hey, look, I don't want to do. I'd
rather stick to what I know.
Right. Now there may be a reason for that.
Right.
So,
I mean, maybe there's a divide. Maybe there will be a divide, but again, as of right now,
I don't see anything that.
We have to go into the divide. I want to talk about what do you think this will do for the sport?
Depends on what they're showing of the sport. What part of the sport are you talking about?
Well, based off of what they were saying, like they said,
they'll try to reach more viewers, and we'll get more people to tune into the sport.
But is that the sport as in being the forms athletes or the actual all
of it? From what they were saying, they're covering the days, the eliminations, the finals. They're going to be doing some kind of storylines. They said. They said that of course they will have people meet your favorite sport martial arts competitors with autograph booths and things. They said follow and cheer on your favorite sport martial arts competitors throughout the year with interviews and storylines running from event to event. So I'm curious as to what storyline they may be talking about. They may be speaking on, hey, this person has won so many events. Can they sweep sweep all 5 of these events, or whatever the case may be? Whatever the storyline that they might come up. It'll be interesting to see what storylines come up out of it, and I think I don't think they would try and manufacture storylines, but I think the storylines would be generic. I mean, genuine. So, yeah, but I mean, for me, the way I look at this is this: them all working together is something that I'm happy to see. I'm happy to see that these four are actually working together instead of working against each other. Like literally, you could have had just Mad Action and Sport Martial Arts trying to do this,
right,
and trying to cut Black Belt Magazine out of it and not bring them into it. And Black Belt Magazine could have
the same thing,
going to Juventex. Now you got Black Belt Magazine and Juventex on this side. You got Sport Martial Arts and
but
Mad
it's relationships though. Like it's the relationship. Right.
I get that. That's what I'm saying.
Sports Martial Arts and Black Belt Magazine. Like that's like a relationship and friendships, right? That's what I mean. I personally feel that's the way it is with those two, at least. Like I mean, like I believe there's like a deeper friendship and relationship, so that's why it's easy for them to connect. Again, I don't know the Mad Action dude or anything like that, but I look at those two. You know.
Yeah, but okay, all right. Do you think that Jackson, who is really the heart and soul of Black Belt Magazine and Sport Karate, does not have a relationship with the Diamonds?
For the media and for what they're trying to do on the social platform, I think he does with the Diamonds, but not to the level of what Sport Martial Arts and what Black Belt can do together. I think that will outweigh that type of relationship because it's just the Diamonds. It's not just John Paul Mitchell, right? It's a tournament. It's not like how all these other how the relationship between Sport Martial Arts and Black Belt.
Well, all right. Let's go there. This Jackson, who's on Paul Mitchell, and Ocean State's not on here.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I think it's relationships, yes.
I think you try to find a line.
No.
Chris, you doing it, huh, Chris? He doing it, huh, Chris?
Oh yeah,
man. Let it be what it is.
He's saying he cast it out trying to see if he can hook something.
Nah.
No, I'm saying all I said was that I keep saying that I think this is a good thing. Y'all keep saying this is relationships and there's no divide.
I think what Jackson's trying to do with Black Belt Magazine is bigger than John Paul Mitchell.
I get that. I'm not saying that, but you're saying that you're saying that the relationships is what got these events over here, right?
Maybe.
But that is a huge relationship for Jackson. I'm not saying I think there's reasons for all of this stuff to be why people chose it to use the Juventex. Maybe they're more familiar. They've had better results with Juventex. They have a good relationship with Moshi. Not gonna say anything, but there may be reasons why that event chose to stay with Juventex, right? And that's the reason why they chose it. What was being offered here, I have no idea. All I'm saying is
it could be that they're just not ready to go to a different.
A lot of people don't like change.
Yeah,
honestly,
they don't want a lot of people don't like change. So this sounds like it's gonna probably take a more demand on everyone involved in this 5 right here, a more demand on what's expected from them and what they have to do. Maybe some people that don't really want to get into that.
Yep,
possibly. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean, when you went through all the stuff that they're trying to do, that doesn't happen if the tournament promoters and the people that are a part of this 5 aren't all collectively working towards that same goal.
Correct.
Right. So if you have the other group and you have some of them that are just not willing to put in that extra work and do the extra that it takes to make this a success, then they probably are where they need to be. It's not a divide, it's just where they need to be.
Nobody's saying divide. I've not said divide at once. So I'm not. All I'm saying is I keep want to go back to this. I think what they're doing here, as far as these 4 working together, I think it's interesting to see what possibly could come out of this. I don't know, and I think it all really depends on how they frame the shows, how they frame the events, how they frame.
You know what I'm thinking? You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking you see this and you already have in your brain as to how you will make this work.
I'm not saying that.
Chris, I'm listening to him talk, and I'm listening to him look at all this and trying to see the tournaments and what they are. Battle of Atlanta, U.S. Open, the Warrior Cup, compete. Okay.
I got a lot of thoughts about this.
So, and you got these guys, you got this, da-da-da. If it was me, he's not saying everything right now, but if it was me, that's what I'm hearing, Trash. But go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I'm gonna let you finish because that's what it sounds like to me that is.
No, I just thought when I saw this, I didn't dedicate a lot of time to it until some messages came to me about certain things behind the scenes, and I was just kind of like, okay, that was interesting.
Yeah, you dudes, y'all behind the scenes. Y'all got mad behind the scenes stuff.
Contrary to what a lot of people think, contrary to what a lot of people think, we don't talk about a lot of stuff that we hear about and people tell us. We just don't talk about because they may say, hey, we don't reveal our sources or anything, so we just don't say anything about different things. But our approach with stuff, and people tell us certain things about things. I'm not saying anything. Somebody just talk to me about this. And then what I'm saying is I'm looking at this from the standpoint of how great can this be? Regardless of, because if these 5 are successful doing this for the next year, guarantee some of the other events will probably come over and try and do it. If they don't succeed, we won't hear about this again. Just like the other thing with the other world tour that they tried to do. They did it for like one year maybe, and it didn't necessarily work the way they thought it would, and then it went away.
So here's my question: would be is if it was successful, would you add more, or is the 5 the dynamics that you need?
No, you have to add the others.
Why?
So if you look at the 5, right? You got Chicago, you got LA, you got Atlanta, you got US Open, and you got Caps. You have like every corner of America right now.
So why do you need the rest?
You said what?
Why do you need the rest? If you can make this
because
work.
2 of them are in Canada.
Right.
And Quebec and Toronto are huge events. Number those 2. The third one is Diamonds. That is just a huge event. Like that is, no matter what you want to say, that is still probably 1 or 1A as far as the larger events here, right? You don't have something that is in technically the Northeast, which is where AmeriKick and Rhode Island,
Ocean State.
Yeah, Ocean State. There, so which allows you to get those regional events where schools will go to, and you can get a big draw. The thing about being on Black Belt Magazine and being in Black Belt Magazine will be a huge draw. Just simple fact, that's a huge draw. Like, think about people being happy about all the people being in Black Belt Magazine over the last year. Getting sport karate known, that what Jackson's been doing, and being able to get write-ups inside of Black Belt Magazine. You can go into any newspaper stand and pick up a Black Belt Magazine and see people you actually know, right? Something that somebody can turn around and say, yeah, I was in Black Belt Magazine. That's pretty cool, like, to see that. So you win one of these 5 events, and now you're plastered all over Black Belt Magazine. Fam, that's going to be a dope thing to say. Yeah. That's something that would resonate with your grandparents, right? That's not something that would
the longest running magazine, right?
Yeah, I'm not trying to just this, but if somebody, you say I'm on sportmartialarts.com, you're like, oh, that's dope. But if you say you can go to the newspaper
Walmart,
stand,
you can go to Walgreens or wherever.
Yeah, pick up a Black Belt Magazine. They're like, this is my cut. They can go around and show everybody like this. Like, that literally is cool. That's something huge. Jungo TV, I'm assuming, probably has a large viewership outside of America.
Yes.
Right. If they really have, what they say, 300 million,
whatever. Yeah, that was a gaggle.
That's a ridiculous number that they threw out there. 300 million active users. That's something that's metrics by IT people use, active users, not just users, but 300 million active users, which means there's actually more users than that. So people are on there watching and doing something on Jungo TV. The question is, if it's what I think it is, that means that, and they said Black Belt made a channel, which means that Black Belt Magazine is known everywhere, which means that if it's somebody turns on, it's a karate event and over there, and they're going to be watching it.
Right.
So it's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out. Like, it's just, there's a lot of potential here. I am curious, and I'm interested in seeing what happens with it. I'm happy to see people are, even though that people have been saying there's a divide, I'm happy to see people are working together. I'll tell you that much.
Yes.
So I'm just I'm anxious to see what actually is going to happen out of this. Is this, because I thought about it this past week. I was like, yo, Chris, I don't even want to say this, but it wasn't a lot of black belt fighters down there this weekend, was it?
No.
Okay. That's which in this, when I sit back and think about it, that's everywhere. It's every local event. Like, it's not a lot of black belt competitors. It's not a lot of, sometimes it may not even be a lot of schools going to these different karate events and stuff like that. Correct. Like you said, Los, you'll be putting in a lot of work for your event, and then the return on investment ain't what you want. It ain't the amount of work you do for it ain't that great. So if this does, that our sport is kind of dying, can this be the catalyst that actually helps our sport get back to where we were in the 90s or even the 80s? You know what I mean? Like, can we get back to it being large events, even our local events, different schools having different rivalries from school to school in local events and stuff like that? Maybe. We'll see. But they saying they're striving for quality and customer service from these 5 events. So let's see how efficient they'll be. Let's see how good they'll be. Let's see. I mean, I'm just curious to see how this is going to interest. A lot of people saw this and started like, oh, it's a split between it. I was sitting there just like, okay, yeah, it's a split, but the split isn't that significant to me right now. There's a crack, there's something, but just because these people, these are the first 5, doesn't mean they're the final 5.
Right.
It doesn't mean that Jungo TV. I mean, doesn't mean that these 3 or 4 may not ever work with Juventex. If something ends up happening, then like, hey, yeah, maybe we'll work with Juventex a little bit. I don't know. What I will say is, this is just an interesting turn of events, and I'm paying attention to it. Now, I said there was a war. Yeah, there's a war. There's a war between Mad Action and Juventex about who does registration. That's the war for right now, anyway. One side has more backing from others than, like you said, because of relationships. I 100% agree with that. But we'll see. Right. Y'all got any more thoughts? Because y'all, yeah.
No, I'm more along the lines of like, I think it's just a jockey for position to see who gets the clients. You know what I mean? And I don't really dig too deep into the fracture or anything. So I think it's just competing companies vying for business. We'll see how it goes in the upcoming year.
I will say this one thing.
Go ahead. What was your thing?
Does no one find it odd that US Open is on here?
I already said that. They finally went to one of the 2 rather than doing their own thing, which used to be Digiteco, and they did the US Open thing last year.
Well, I found it odd this year that they were using Sport Martial Arts to stream as opposed to ESPN. Are they still on ESPN? Because I can't see them allowing them to have other websites to be able to stream if it's going to be on ESPN. Do they still have the sponsors? If that is the case, do you think U.S. Open will start to wane a little bit in the numbers of the amount of people that go there?
No.
Okay. Just curious.
Okay.
I was like, yo, can we go get some? Can I leave? Can I get some to eat?
Listen, I'm mad at you right now with all that eating earlier.
I mean, it was some good food.
Shut up.
I mean,
Why you telling him to shut up?
hey man,
You trying to make
hungry.
I wasn't really trying to do nothing like
He
that. I
was
wasn't trying
hangry.
to mess with y'all. La. So I just I didn't want to hear all that. I didn't want to hear all that.
He was
I'm
hangry.
gonna go eat some etouffee and eat some gator.
Yeah.
I'm upset. I'd like to be eating etouffee and some gator.
I wouldn't.
I know you
You
would
like to eat some French fries. We get it, Los. You're a 7-year-old child. Can't eat anything else besides chicken fingers and cheese
Simple
pizza.
and easy. That's it.
That's it, baby.
All right, man. We got anything else? Anything y'all want to talk about? Anything else? We can get out of
I
here.
want to thank y'all fellas for a good show and a good night. Thank you to our sponsors.
All right. Yeah, hey man, I'm assuming people are probably gonna email us about this or message us about this and
Oh, yeah, they're gonna message y'all, not me.
quit standing on the fence, Los.
I'm not on the fence. I'm right here, and I've said what I said.
I
I
don't
really
care.
don't. It don't. Like
Yo,
you
why-
know what I'm telling you? I've
Stanley.
learned I'm gonna pick and choose what I decide to give my emotions to sometimes, and I decided this is just not gonna get my emotion. Like I just don't see I'm good.
Oh man. Yeah, I guess so. It is what it is. Y'all trying to make me to be the vet. I'm like, I'm just asking a question.
No, you do what you do.
Y'all trying to turn it. Y'all just mad. I had y'all in my scope. I was like, oh yeah, you done stepped in it. Go ahead, say the real thing. Say the real thing. Y'all like, he being the bad guy. I'm like, what? I'm just trying to get some clarification.
That is true.
on what you said. That's it.
That's all.
Okay.
All right, people, we are out of here. I'm going to enjoy my etouffee, my alligator, and French fries. Yeah, y'all get home safe. Everybody, we'll see y'all next week. We will be seeing this week, actually, the promotions for Arctic Challenge. Make sure you guys get your tickets to go there and fight and compete. If y'all really want to fight and win, go to the Arctic Challenge. All right.
Yeah.
Anything else, guys? No, I don't care. Out of here. If it ever plays.